Okay, Jeff Gordon is kind enough to stay around with us, and let's talk a little racing here, Jeff. You've been here at Darlington before, and you've won this at this racetrack 7 times at Darlington. So this is a place that you like to get around. You've got the best driver rating of any body in the series at Darlington, 117.6. That's pretty good. Yeah. So you know it's a pretty strong track for you. So talk about that coming in here. Obviously, you've got 1 win under your belt this year, and I'm sure you'd like to get number 2.
Yeah, no, we're always excited to come to Darlington. This has been one of my favorites ever since I started racing NASCAR. You know, even in the Nationwide Series, came here. Just it's a track that you have to attack, you have to respect, and you're on the edge, and so that's I think. Those are ingredients that drivers look forward to, and it's suited me well and our team over the years. And we've had some struggles this year on the faster. I consider this in that category of the 1.5 miles that we've struggled at. And since the last 1.5 miles at Texas, no team out there has worked harder on their aero program and trying to make improvements than our Drive to Win Hunger Chevrolet. So I'm pretty excited about putting that out there on the racetrack and seeing what we've done to get close to the competition. Obviously, last week in Richmond and on the shorter tracks, we have our program in place and very competitive. So we recognize that this is definitely an important track for us, and it's a good one for us as well.
Take questions now for Jeff. We'll start here with Thomas, and we'll go to Dustin. If you could raise your hand, we'll get you the mic. Again, state your name and who you're with, please.
Jeff Thomas Pope from the Fayetteville Observer. You said a couple of years ago on the media tour that you didn't race just to drive fast, that it was the competitive part that really, set you off. So can you speak relative to that as it pertains to Darlington? What is it about the challenge here that makes the drivers enjoy this place so much from just the challenge standpoint?
Yeah, well, the thing about Darlington is it's the 44th competitor out there. In Darlington you can't just I guess in my case it'd be the 43rd, but no, you just can't go out there and look at the competition. You can't just think about your race car. This track can reach out and bite you in a hurry. And if if you've ever taken even a slow lap around this track in a street car, those entries where you come off the wall, you clip sort of the apron and then head right up back to the wall. It comes up fast. It's a big transition, and it's very narrow, and there's just very little room for error. And then you put other race cars. That's when you're by yourself. You put other race cars out there, and the challenge goes up tenfold. So this is definitely a track where you've always had to respect it. You've always had to do everything you could to just stay off the wall, stay off the apron, and survive. And then at the same time, you got to try to be faster than the competition. So it's a very challenging racetrack.
Let's go with Dustin. We'll go over here to Brian, and then we'll go to Shannon.
Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Jeff, have you talked to anybody or done any more discussions with NASCAR or in regards to last week's accident, in regards to the barrier, your concerns about that at Richmond and some other tracks? And I was hearing what was the G4 spike? I've heard a number. It sounds like it was above the threshold that when I talked to Dean Sicking that they mentioned as something that they looked at as kind of a really hard impact.
I'm not sure what is it Dr. Sicking? Yeah. I'm not sure what his threshold is, but I know we exceeded the threshold. It's at the time when I hit the wall, I wasn't even thinking about it. I knew it was a hard hit. When I got out, I got in the medical center, and my head hurt a little bit, and other than that, I was feeling pretty good. I was walking out of the medical center and I happened to see a TV, and you caught a glance at what happened, and I was shocked. I couldn't believe that there wasn't a safer barrier there, and then I realized why it hurt so much. I think that it was pretty interesting this week because I had several drivers text me saying, thank you for helping to make the racetrack safer, because I'm pretty sure that we'll be seeing a safer barrier there, and I seem to find those places on tracks, and I don't want to be that test pilot for those things. But I think that there are areas that are still out there for some reason that still need to be covered, and hopefully through this incident, which I walked away from unscathed. We'll be able to make improvements there at Richmond. I mean, Richmond was one of the first tracks that had safer barriers, so their efforts have always been there to protect and keep the tracks safe as possible. So it's just an area that needs to be relooked at, and from what I understand, they will definitely be doing that. And I don't know the number. I've not heard that number. I was at the shop on Tuesday. We were focused on Darlington. We talked a little bit about some improvements we can make inside the car for future reference. But other than that, that's all we were focused on.
Go ahead, Brian.
Jeff, Brian Nelson, Motor Racing Network. You talked about racing the track as much as you're racing your competitors. Can you tell me about the patience and self-discipline required to do that when, it may seem like there are guys that are passing you and you'd like to stay right there with them? And then is there a point of the race as you're coming down to the checkered flag where you need to worry more about your competitors than the racetrack, or are you worried about it the track all race long?
Well, there's two different scenarios we're talking about. I'm really anxious to get out there and see what the grip level is for this time around. We saw some numbers from testing, the cars that came here for the Goodyear tire test. And the track seemed to still be pretty fast. Before they repaved here, it was very abrasive. The fall off was incredible. Tire management was huge, and so you would, if somebody came pushing hard, you'd give it up no problem because you felt like you're going to get it back. Can't necessarily do that today. This track is smooth. The tires are hard, and the fall off is just not there like it used to be. So today's challenge is more of the grip level and getting to the edge of that grip level with the harder tire. I understand they may have a little bit softer tire this time around, so I'm anxious. And as we get to those softer tires, we'll see more fall off, which is a good thing, especially here at Darlington. But the challenge to me is just the narrow window that you have of making mistakes because you are carrying so much speed and you're running so close to the wall. This is a track where if you sent us out there by ourselves for 400 or 500 miles, we'd probably hit the wall without any other competitors being out there. So that's just the challenge that this track provides, and hopefully we'll have a little fall off this weekend where the tire management will come into play and even throw another aspect to the challenges that are already here.
We'll go Shannon, Dwight, and then Claire B. Go ahead, Shannon.
Shannon Spake, ESPN. Jeff, as one of the veterans in this sport, you've had the opportunity to watch young drivers come in and evolve as they go through the years. Your opinion on Kyle Busch this season, the change that we've seen in him, and do you think it's real?
Well, up to this point, it certainly has been. I think as the tension mounts and as the stress level gets higher, you'll really get the answer, to that as we get further into the season. I mean, Kyle is a tremendously talented race car driver. He seems to be very happy, and at this point, he seems to, just be handling everything very, very well this year, and that's great for him. And so only time will tell, but. He's just one of those guys where when it really comes at him, you never know how he's going to handle it. But right now is if he keeps winning races and competing the way at the level he is now, he's not going to have a whole lot to be stressed out about.
Okay, we'll go Dwight, Claire B., and then Andy Shane. Go ahead.
Dwight Drum, Racetake.com. Jeff, as far as some fans might actually think you guys, NASCAR drivers, only work 4 hours a week. But as far as, could you explain what the reality of being a NASCAR star really is and how often you sign autographs?
Yeah, I mean, the autographs are all the time. It never seems to stop. But, you know, as far as being in an autograph session with the general public, you know, these days it's really turned more into supporting your sponsor and whatever events that they have, because basically to be on the car and pay the millions of dollars that they have, you know, it's not just being on the car, it's your time. And whether it's a production day, whether it's a personal appearance, which could be autographs, it could be Q&A, it could be a lot of things. You know, that takes up most of the time during the week. But I still sign a tremendous amount of autographs because we do it, a lot of it in the office, whether it be things sent in, things that we do through licensed merchandising. And then, you know, there are those moments where you're just walking through the garage area, you know, or on an everyday basis, and so it seems to me like I'm just always signing autographs, really, when we're not here at the track. But I'm excited about some things that NASCAR is talking about doing some things at the racetrack. And I hope that gets put together. I'll be honest with you. I think at the racetrack, I probably have more downtime than I do during the week. During the week, it seems like I'm feeling. Of course, you know, I do have 2 young children that take up a lot of time too, but and they don't ask for autographs. But during the weekend, it's a set schedule. You know, I'm here in the bus. I will pretty much every weekend have a box of things put in my bus from my office that are autographed items to go out. So, you know, I think there's some downtime that we could utilize to do some autograph sessions.